Yo, what's going on guys? Ian77 here. In today's video, we're going to be playing Hog EQ at the top of ladder. So, I know EQ did get a big nerf recently, but I actually have been playing a few games recently with Hog EQ, and I actually find it to be pretty strong still. So, we are pretty near number 1 right now. I think we're like, just a few games away, so I think if we win like most of the games in this video, we might be able to get number 1 here, and looks like the first match we will be up against Giant Graveyard, which would be a pretty interesting matchup. I feel like even though the Earthquake is quite a bit weaker compared to before, I feel like it isn't like too bad, like the deck itself, because I feel like a lot of the matchups don't even rely on the tower damage of the Earthquake, so it is quite bad against towers, but I feel like it can kind of work against quite a few decks still. It looks like his Dark Prince will unfortunately hit our Hog Rider there. Probably could have just went with skeletons on it, but looks like the Hog will still get a shot on his tower, so looking pretty fine right here. It is kind of nice that he has like Witch over like an Archer Queen or something. That way we don't really have to worry too much about him having like good counter push, because you can pretty easily counter like his Witch with like a Valkyrie or something. So I'm just gonna go with an Archer Queen in the back here. Looks like he will go with the Giant, but yeah, should be fine for us, I think, because the really nice thing about this deck is that we do have Cannon, which can, like, super easily stop his Giants, so, we only really need to, like, cheaply defend his Giants with just, like, a Cannon and stuff, then we can just, like, Earthquake his Graveyard. So, looks like he will go with the Snowball and Scar Me there to counter our Archer Queen, but it's still gonna get a shot on the tower, and, he probably will get a few skeleton hits right here, but honestly, pretty good for us right here. We're still in the damage lead, and we are just like in a good driver's seat in this game, I feel like. And looks like he will go with the Dark Prince here on the Hog Rider. I was gonna say it would get a couple shots in his tower, but he did decide to go with the Snowball as well, so just gonna counter it right here. The nice thing about Dark Prince is that you can like really easily counter it after they use it against your Hog Rider, so it doesn't really get any counter push value, or pretty much none. And I'm just going to go with the Earthquake plus Log here. I'm honestly going to just focus on defense for the time being, rather than being like too aggressive on offense, because I don't really think we need to be too aggressive. Like, we can pretty easily defend his pushes, so it's better to be just a little bit safe. And I'm going to hover Earthquake right here. Going to go with it, just in case you went with like a Skeleton Army, but it looks like he will decide to go with the Witch right here, and I'm not even going to target the Hog Rider, so yeah, super good for us right here. Just going to log away the Witch, make sure that it dies, but it does survive with like a sliver of HP, so you're gonna have to waste a Valkyrie here, but it's fine because we can just go with like the Earthquake on the actual Graveyard. And I guess he does Prediction Arrow or Fire Spirit, but didn't really do anything right there, and at this point we kind of just have to like defend well and hopefully get like a Hog hit or two incidentally. And he was like low Witch at the exact same time, so we'll see if it does get one shot. He does get the right timing right there, so I'm not gonna get any damage, but honestly, don't really know if there's like too much he can do. Just gonna defend and make sure to not like overexert myself on like offense. And he will go with the bats here and the arrows, but Hog will still get one shot, and we just need to like pretty much defend this push, and then we should be able to cycle a couple EQs and win, hopefully. Or he did waste Snowball now, so we can probably just go in with the Hog here in a second. And yeah, he's gonna waste Scar Me there, so just gonna go in, and I think this should be a good game. We beat this guy plenty of times on the channel, but always nice to beat the Giant Graveyard players, who a lot of you guys have a hateful, have a passion of hating on. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against Petal. So we have faced this guy like in our last video as well, I think, or like one of our very recent videos. So we all know what deck he's playing, Royal Recruits with like E-Barbs and like Goblin Drill, or at least like regular viewers of the channel should probably know what he plays. And looks like we'll have to go with the defensive drill here, so already like a pretty decent start. He does get like that little bit of a lead just because of his princess, but we're still looking pretty good and can just counter this bandit with some skeletons right here. And yeah, so in the first match I was like pretty much just talking about just like a bunch of random stuff. I wasn't really talking about the state of Earthquake itself or like Hog EQ, but I feel like Hog EQ is actually pretty good. Like, I switched to it and I've been like winning pretty much all of my games with it, so I feel like even though it's definitely a lot weaker, it's still like a good deck, I feel like, and I don't know, I feel like you can still have quite a lot of success with it, even though it is quite a lot worse compared to how it used to be. But maybe if we can get number 1 here in today's video, maybe it'll prove that it really is still quite a strong deck. But I'm gonna have to see how it goes. And yeah, so I feel like it's still a viable deck. It is a bit worse against like cycle decks especially, but it is still quite good in general. And yeah, should be pretty good against like this deck as well that the opponent is using. And the thing is, like, Earthquake doesn't really matter in a lot of matchups. Like, I mean, it does matter, but like it's not like the main thing. So even with like the little nerf, I feel like it won't really affect it too much in a lot of these matchups. So yeah, I feel like Earthquake is still not a terrible card, to be honest. I feel like Earthquake still has like some viability. Like sometimes it's used in the Royal Giant deck or like the Royal Hogs deck and stuff like that, but definitely is quite a bit weaker. But I feel like Hog EQ still works, because honestly I didn't really play the Hog EQ deck like an Earthquake cycle deck. Like, I know some Hog players would just go with like Queens in the back and then just like start non-stop Earthquake cycling, but personally I would play it like a lot more like a actual Hog deck, like where I'm actually trying to get Hog damage, so it doesn't really affect me too much. I think we'll be able to get the King Tower activation here. So I did like a little bit of testing. Like, I know some people are like not sure if you could still activate off of a bandit or not, and you actually can't activate off of a bandit anymore, like without it being tanked for by something. So if it is tanked for by like a really anything, you can still activate your King Tower, but you can't activate it unless it is actually being tanked for, just because the glitch no longer exists with it, so it doesn't stay alive for as long on the offensive end. And we're looking pretty good here so far in this match. The King Tower activation should really go a long way for us right here, and he's trying to go with these Goblin drills, but Kennen is gonna kind of destroy it. He is gonna, looks like he is gonna get a Magic Archer right here, and he is actually in the lead a little bit right here, but honestly I'm not really too worried here. He might, yeah, I was gonna say he might go with Recruits right here, but still looking quite good for us. Just gonna pop the Queen ability right here, and we do have activated King Tower, so it shouldn't be too bad if we have to like mostly ignore this Ghost here. But I'm just gonna kite these Recruits a little bit back with the Hog Rider, and gonna go with the Log here just to make sure that the Hog does get a shot on the tower. And looks like it will get the shot right there, and he's gonna go with the Drill in the back, and we should be able to counter it pretty easy with just like Skeletons plus Fire Spirit, just because of the King Tower being activated. And yeah, I think the Wall Breaker should die just because we have the King Tower activated. And let's see, okay, Hog does actually get a second swing, so that will be a good game here against Petal. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy. So I think I have faced this guy pretty recently, and I think he does play RG right now, so just gonna go with the Hog first play here, hoping he has like an awkward cycle, but looks like he will go with the Fisherman. So yeah, so like as you can see here, like so far in these like last 3 matchups, I feel like the Earthquake change doesn't really affect it too much. I think it should still be quite a solid matchup here. You're gonna have to be a little bit careful. And alright, RG will probably get like a ton of shots right there. Kind of unfortunate that we like wasted our Skeletons early on his well, not on anything, we kind of just use it towards our left Princess Tower. I was kind of not really expecting him to be so aggressive right there, but kind of unfortunate start. But just gonna go with the Queen here and kind of just block the Fisherman with some Skeletons, and should be looking pretty good here. We are in a bit of a pinch right here at the start, just because of kind of just wasting those Skeletons a little bit wrongly, but I think we should be fine right here. His Queen is gonna kill our Queen, but yeah, just gonna call the early GG, but it's definitely not over yet. I think we still have a pretty good chance, but it might be a little bit difficult to come back, just because it's always good to have like a little bit of a early lead when you're playing in a matchup like this. Like, you never really want to be too behind, because it's not as easy to get like chip damage now that Earthquake is nerfed. But I feel like the Earthquake nerf isn't too bad against this matchup, even though it is a little bit weaker overall. And yeah, so just gonna go with the Hog Rider right here. He probably will fully counter it with the Hunter plus E-Spirit, so well played by him. But we're slowly catching up. And even though Earthquake doesn't do that much damage anymore, I feel like it's still like it's pretty easy to like cycle on the towers. Like you can always use it against the tower by itself, but when they're running like Fireball or something, they can't really afford to go with naked fireballs on your tower. So it still is pretty nice. And unfortunately, we'll activate the Queen ability like a second later, but he does waste the log himself, and he does go with a Hunter there, I think trying to predict our Hog Rider, but he failed pretty miserably. And yeah, just gonna take the Earthquake and log on it. I don't think the Hunter will get any shots on our tower, and just gonna match his Queen with our Queen. We do have to be a little bit careful of his Queens. Not really too scared of anything in his deck, just his Queens could be a little bit sketchy sometimes, but he doesn't even have Lightning in his deck, so I think we should be pretty good. And yeah, so by the way guys, I think the reason that Hog EQ is still pretty good is just because of how the meta has kind of shifted. Like I feel like the meta is actually quite a lot better for Hog EQ than it was before. Even though Hog EQ was like very OP before, it was just because of the cards were being so broken, but it wasn't really because the meta was too good for it necessarily. But now I feel like a lot of the meta decks get beaten by Hog Rider, so that's why I feel like it's still quite viable and quite good. And he's gonna go with like a Hunter here and a Ghost. I think we might be able to get back to another Queen ability in time. So just gonna Earthquake here. I'm gonna use a Fire Spirit as well, so we get back to another Earthquake as quickly as possible. And yeah, he kind of wasted his Queen there. We should be able to just like pretty much log it away, and if he tries to use the ability, it won't really do too much because you have to use it like way too early. So I'm just gonna go with the Valkyrie. You're gonna go with the Archer Queen as well, and as you can see, we're going with like really smart plays right here. Like if we had went with like a Hog Rider right there, like right into the Hunter, it would have been super bad for us. But we're making the smart play of kind of like going with Hogs when he least expects it, and it looks like that Archer Queen will take down his whole tower. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy, and I think he is a minor Wall Breakers player. Yeah, he has to go with the Wall Breakers first play, so will be a little bit interesting here. I feel like one of the matchups that Earthquake kind of does hurt against right now is like a lot of these decks, like maybe such as like minor Wall Breakers, because I feel like the main way you would get damage before would be through your Earthquakes, but now that it did get nerfed quite a bit, it could be a lot harder to get damage, because I think he does have like a bomb tower or something. And even though Earthquake isn't like too bad against buildings, I feel like it's not even that good at helping you break through against stuff like bomb towers, because it still will fully counter the Hog Rider even if you go with an Earthquake, unless the Hog is being tanked for by like a Valkyrie or something like that. And yeah, so his bats might be a little bit annoying here. We don't have like the Fire Spirit right away in cycle, but Queen should be able to handle it pretty well, and just gonna go with our Valkyrie on his minor. And yeah, so looking pretty good right here. I feel like Queen is still better than Firecracker, by the way. I know I was kind of like thinking that Firecracker could be the best version of Hog EQ ever since the Ice Spirit got buffed, and the yeah, I think just the Ice Spirit got buffed, but I feel like Queen is still a lot better. It just like synergizes so much better with Hog Rider than Firecracker, and I do love Firecracker, but I feel like honestly, just like the King activation of the Firecracker is really the only reason I don't really feel like running it. Like, if Firecracker wouldn't give the opponent free King activation so easy, I'd probably still be running it, but I feel like Queen is just like so good on defense as well, and it does also give you the chance to like not give them any King activations, and it does give you like the 3-card cycle. And he did just get like quite a bit of chip damage there, but I'm pretty sure he's very low on elixir, so looks like the Hog will get quite a lot of damage right here. And yeah, so when you're playing a Hog Rider deck, you always have to be really, I don't know how to say it, but you have to be like really aware of the situation you're in. You always have to know if your opponent is very low on elixir like that, because just by doing that Hog play right there, knowing he's very low on elixir, we got like so much damage. So yeah, you really have to be a little bit smart with those kinds of stuff. And looks like he will go with the Fireball here on our Queen. I was hoping he wouldn't get back to it in time, but should be fine for us either way. And looks like he won't use the ability right away, so Queen is going to take it out, and looking pretty good for us right here. Going to go with the Earthquake on his Spear Goblins. I could have killed the Bomb Tower maybe, but kind of just want to get rid of his Spear Goblins. And yeah, so Fire Spirit is a little bit nicer than Ice Spirit sometimes in this match, but it is really nice to kill the Bass very well every time when we aim it correctly. And looks like Hog will get 2 shots right there. I guess he didn't have like a login cycle or something, and yeah, just gonna go with a Valkyrie here to defend his Golden Knight. You do have to be a little bit careful sometimes when they're running a Golden Knight. You never really know when it's just gonna like dash in a super weird direction and somehow chain on your skeletons and towards your tower, but we are doing really well here so far, and really just like that one haul where we punished him for spending Spear Goblins and a log is really what probably is going to win us the game here, and I think we just need like 2 more logs and an Earthquake, but honestly I haven't even memorized the new Earthquake damage ever since it got the nerf. It just does so little damage that it doesn't really matter too much anyways, and Hog won't quite get to the tower right here, but just going to need to cycle back to 1 more Earthquake or 1 more log, and it should be GG here in a second. Alright, that will be good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, you're going to be up against this guy, so I do know what like most of the people in this video have been using, and I'm pretty sure this guy's always going to be running Goblin Drill, so it should be a pretty interesting matchup here. I think it's quite nice. Honestly, the Earthquake nerf might hurt us a little bit in this matchup as well, but I feel like it should be okay still. And okay, unfortunately 1 wall breaker will connect here, and we're going to have to go with the cannon on his Valkyrie, and okay, this is looking super bad right here. Fire Spirit will connect, only hitting 1 guard though, so he's probably going to take like most of our tower here. Yikes. Alright, so just maybe with a Hog Rider here, just kind of a heads up Hog Rider. He is going to fireball it, but Hog is still going to get 3 swings on his tower, so honestly we have a chance to come back still. I'm just going to go with this Queen here at the river, hoping that he doesn't have enough elixir right away to deal with everything. He'll go with the Valkyrie, it looks like, and he will defend the Queen pretty well, but we did still kind of make a little bit of a comeback. It might be a little bit hard to come back at this point, but definitely have a chance now, just because of that Hog Rider. And yeah, honestly, cannon is also pretty nice in a matchup like this. Like, it's really easy distraction, or really easy distraction to the wall breakers. So yeah, he'll go with the wall breakers plus Fire Spirit here, but not really going to do anything, and Doc are going to clean up the Goblin Drill very easily. And yeah, now we're just going to go on offense here in a second with the Hog Rider and probably a Earthquake, and looks like he will have an Inferno Tower. He does decide to go with the pre-placement of the Inferno Tower, but it's going to make it like die just a little bit quicker to all of our troops and allow our Hog Rider to get 1 swing on his tower. So now we're actually back in the lead here, and yeah, he will go with the Goblin Drill here. Goblin's going to get distracted though by the Fire Spirit, and Log is going to kind of knock back the guards as well. So looking pretty good right here. Just going to go with an Earthquake, just in case he goes with like the last second Inferno Tower. But looks like he will decide to Fireball, and Hog will get 2 shots on his tower somehow. And yeah, we do have to be a little bit careful here on defense. He could still take our tower on the right side, but if we defend super well, we might be able to defend still. So let's just see what we can do right here. And Queen is doing work right here. I feel like Queen is really nice in this matchup, and I'm going to predict his Goblin Drill there with the Valkyrie, but he is going to Fireball it away, so he does get a little bit of damage right there. I think he may have got 1 Goblin stab, but I'm just going to go with an Earthquake here. I don't think Earthquake will be enough anymore ever since the nerf, so we'll still need to get like a log on his tower, but I'm just going to pressure with the Hog Rider right now. I'm going to go with the log here, and he will Fireball, but I don't think it's going to be enough right here. That will be good game. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!